History doesn't play fair. Just when we think we've got it all figured out, it throws something at us that makes absolutely no sense. Some discoveries crack open ancient secrets that are thought to be lost forever, while others raise questions no one's ready to answer. And then there are the ones that feel like they came straight out of a horror movie. Mass graves with no explanation, artifacts that defy logic, and ruins that make you wonder if our ancestors knew something we don't. These aren't just random pieces of the past. They're history's biggest curveballs, too bizarre, too unsettling, and way too unbelievable to ignore. So buckle up and get ready to have your brain blown as we explore 15 mind-bending discoveries that are too unbelievable to ignore. Let's start off with number 15, strange oxygen. Scientists studying oxygen levels in the Pacific Ocean stumbled upon something they never expected, an unusual form of oxygen called dark oxygen. Unlike regular oxygen, this variant appears to come from metallic deposits on the ocean floor rather than traditional biological processes. At first, the data seemed wrong, but repeated tests confirmed its presence. This discovery could completely change how we understand ocean ecosystems, especially in deep-sea environments thought to be inhospitable to life. If dark oxygen plays a significant role in sustaining marine organisms, it might explain how certain deep-sea creatures survive in extreme conditions. Scientists believe further research could even provide clues about life on other planets. Number 14, Olduvai Gorge. This 30-mile stretch of Tanzania's Rift Valley has been crucial in shaping what we know about human evolution. Fossil remains found here date back nearly 1.9 million years, showing early hominin species gradually evolving in intelligence and social complexity. The discovery of stone tools and animal remains suggests that early humans developed hunting strategies and communal behaviors. Over time, evidence shows an increasing reliance on tools and a shift toward a more structured way of life. By around 17,000 years ago, Homo sapiens were present, bringing more advanced technology and social organization. Olduvai Gorge remains one of the most important archaeological sites, providing key insights into how early humans survived and adapted over time. Number 13, Nazca Lines, Peru. Scattered across the arid plains of southern Peru, the Nazca Lines remain one of archaeology's greatest mysteries. Stretching across 1,000 square kilometers, these massive geoglyphs depict hummingbirds, monkeys, spiders, and geometric patterns, some over 660 feet long. Created between 500 BCE and 500 CE by the Nazca culture, the designs were made by carefully removing the top layer of dark, oxidized rocks to expose the lighter soil beneath, an engineering feat that has withstood time. Visible primarily from the air, the sheer scale and precision of these figures spark endless debate. Were they astronomical calendars aligning with celestial events, sacred pathways for religious ceremonies, messages to the gods? Modern research using drones and satellite imagery continues to uncover new geoglyphs, yet their true purpose remains unknown. Despite the countless theories, no one knows what they are. Number 12, Ta'atima, Venezuela. In the arid landscape of Venezuela's Falcon state, an unassuming site called Ta'atima is rewriting the story of early human migration. Dating back an estimated 15,000 years, this prehistoric site challenges the long-standing belief that the first Americans arrived via an ice-free corridor through North America. Instead, evidence suggests a much earlier coastal migration, potentially reshaping our understanding of human history. Excavations at Ta'atima have unearthed stone tools, projectile points, and scrapers, revealing an advanced society skilled in hunting and survival. Even more astonishing are the remains of glyptodonts, giant prehistoric armadillos with clear-cut marks, proving that humans either hunted or scavenged these massive creatures. These discoveries indicate not only early human ingenuity, but also an intimate relationship with the environment. Ta'atima isn't just another ancient site. It's proof that human history in the Americas may be far older and more complex than we ever imagined. Number 11. Quantum entanglement. Physics has rules, until it doesn't. Case in point, quantum entanglement, one of the strangest concepts in the universe. Normally, nothing moves faster than light, but in the bizarre world of quantum mechanics, two entangled particles can instantly affect each other, no matter how far apart they are. Imagine having two perfectly synced dice. Roll one in New York, and its twin in Tokyo lands the exact same way at the exact same moment. Sounds impossible, right? That's essentially what happens with entangled particles. If you change one, the other responds immediately, as if space itself didn't exist between them. Einstein hated this, calling it spooky action at a distance. And yet, experiments have proven it to be real. Scientists don't fully understand how or why it works, but the implications are huge. In theory, this could be used for ultra-secure communication, or even teleportation. The universe just got a whole lot weirder. Number 10. Dark matter. Physicists are pretty good at measuring the total mass of the universe. There's just one little problem. The numbers don't add up. Based on everything we can see, galaxies shouldn't have enough gravity to hold themselves together. In theory, they should just fly apart. But they don't, which means there must be something else holding them together. Meest dark matter. Dark matter is an invisible, unknown substance that makes up about 95% of the universe's mass. We can't see it, touch it, or directly detect it, but we know it's there because of its gravitational effects. Think of it like wind. You can't see it, but you know it exists because you can see what it moves. While no one knows exactly what dark matter is, it's one of the biggest mysteries in physics. Whatever it is, it's literally shaping the universe around us. All right, now, let's move to Number 9. Our universe is rapidly expanding. When the Big Bang happened, the universe exploded outward, scattering galaxies, stars, and planets in all directions. Logically, as gravity pulls everything back together, you'd expect this expansion to gradually slow down. But here's the plot twist. It's actually speeding up. Imagine throwing a baseball and instead of falling back, it just kept accelerating. That's exactly what's happening to our universe. The force driving this strange acceleration is called dark energy, and it's even more mysterious than dark matter. Scientists don't know what it is, but it makes up nearly 70% of the universe. The more space expands, the stronger dark energy becomes, meaning the universe will just keep stretching faster and faster. If this continues indefinitely, galaxies will eventually drift so far apart that distant stars will disappear from view. It's a reminder that we're living in a universe that's still in motion, and no one knows how it will end. Number 8. All matter is just energy. Einstein's famous equation E equals mc squared isn't just a cool formula, it's a fundamental truth of the universe. It states that mass and energy are two sides of the same coin. This means that everything, your phone, your chair, even you, is just energy in a condensed form. And under the right conditions, matter can be converted into pure energy. Need proof? Look no further than atomic bombs. When a tiny amount of matter is converted into energy, it releases an explosion powerful enough to destroy entire cities. That's because even the smallest amount of mass holds an enormous amount of energy when multiplied by the speed of light squared. If we ever figure out how to efficiently convert mass into energy, without, explosions, we'd have an infinite power source. Until then, E equals mc squared remains both a mind-blowing concept and a reminder of the raw power hidden in the fabric of reality. Number 7. Wave-particle duality. Light isn't just one thing, it's two things at once. Sometimes it behaves like a particle, bouncing off surfaces like tiny bullets. Other times it acts like a wave, bending and spreading out like ripples in water. This weird contradiction is known as wave-particle duality, and it doesn't just apply to light. It happens with electrons, too. Here's where it gets even stranger. Which form light takes depends on how we observe it. In experiments, when scientists look for waves, light behaves like a wave. When they look for particles, it acts like a particle. It's as if reality itself adjusts based on who's watching. This is one of the core principles of quantum mechanics. The universe doesn't always exist in a definite state until it's being observed. If that sounds like something straight out of the Matrix, well, welcome to the weird world of quantum physics. Number 6. Dozens of shackled skeletons. In 2016, construction workers in downtown Athens were probably expecting to find old pipes or maybe some forgotten ruins, because let's be real, that's just Athens for you. What they didn't expect was to stumble upon the Phaleron Delta Necropolis, a massive burial site with over 1,500 ancient Greek citizens. But that wasn't the creepy part. Tucked away in a smaller chamber, they found over 80 skeletons stacked haphazardly, their hands shackled above their heads. Some were lying side by side, others piled on top of each other, a chilling hint that their burial was anything but ceremonial. These weren't sickly or elderly individuals either. Most of them were young, strong, and in good health at the time of their deaths. But how they died? That's the real mystery. Historians believe they were the loyal followers of Cylon, an Athenian noble and Olympic champion who attempted a coup in 632 BC. Cylon himself escaped, but his followers? Not so lucky. They were executed and tossed into a pit, their shackles left intact as if their captors feared they might rise from the dead. Or maybe they just didn't bother removing the chains. Number 5. The Screaming Mummy. Mummies are unsettling enough on their own, preserved bodies wrapped tightly in linen, staring blankly into eternity. But Man-E, as he's known, takes disturbing to a whole new level. When Gaston Maspero, head of the Egyptian Antiquities Service, unwrapped this particular mummy in 1886, he expected the usual: a dignified pharaoh or noble, carefully embalmed and preserved. Instead, he found a face frozen in what looked like a scream, mouth agape as if caught mid-howl, hands and feet bound so tightly it was clear that whatever happened to him wasn't pleasant. Unlike other royal mummies, Man-E wasn't given the traditional embalming treatment. Instead, he was wrapped in sheepskin, a major red flag in ancient Egypt, where that was considered unclean. His organs were still intact, and his body showed signs of poisoning or even suffocation, leading scholars to believe he may have been buried alive. Some believe he was Prince Pentawere, the disgraced son of Rameses III, who was implicated in a failed plot to assassinate his father. But the truth, no one knows. So all these are just theories and myths. Number 4. The Altamura Man. Picture yourself deep inside an Italian cave, flashlight scanning the walls, when suddenly, bam, you lock eyes with a calcified skeleton, trapped in rock as if the cave itself swallowed him whole. That's what happened to researchers in the Lamalunga cave system near Altamura, Italy, when they discovered the oldest known Neanderthal skeleton, eerily encased in limestone deposits. Known as the Altamura Man, this unfortunate hunter met his doom around 150,000 years ago when he fell into a sinkhole, unable to escape as starvation and the slow creep of death set in. Over time, mineral-rich water coated his remains, turning him into a fossil before the world even knew his kind existed. For decades, scientists left him untouched, unwilling to risk damaging his eerie, calcified form. It wasn't until 2015 that a shoulder fragment was analyzed, confirming his age and place in history. His reconstructed face, rugged, strong, and hauntingly human, is a ghostly reminder that he's still there, slowly merging with the earth that claimed him. Number 3. The Aztec shrieking death whistles. The Aztecs didn't just believe in warfare, they turned it into psychological terror. Case in point, the infamous death whistles. During an excavation near an Aztec temple in Mexico City, archaeologists uncovered a skeleton clutching 2 eerie, skull-shaped instruments. At first, they assumed they were decorative, maybe even simple trinkets. That was until someone had the bright idea to blow into one. The sound that emerged wasn't music. It was pure nightmare fuel. These whistles produce a wail so bone-chilling, so disturbingly human-like, that it sounds like someone screaming in absolute agony. Historians believe the Aztecs used them during sacrificial rituals to create an unsettling atmosphere, or possibly in warfare, where hundreds of warriors could unleash this ear-piercing shriek all at once. Imagine standing on a battlefield, hearing the cries of what sounds like tortured souls echoing around you. This thing is just too creepy. Number 2. The man-eating animals of Teotihuacan. Ancient civilizations had some brutal traditions, but Teotihuacan took things to another level. Archaeologists digging through the ruins of this once great Mesoamerican city discovered something unsettling: pits filled with the bones of jaguars, pumas, and other carnivorous beasts, all kept within temple enclosures. But these weren't just royal pets or exotic zoo specimens. Testing showed that the animals had been force-fed human flesh, revealing a grisly practice of feeding sacrificial victims directly to the city's sacred predators. Wall paintings in Teotihuacan further confirm this nightmare scenario, depicting animals devouring human hearts. It's believed that priests would bring prisoners, whether captured warriors or unfortunate citizens, into these enclosures and let the beasts do the dirty work. Whether this was considered a divine offering or a form of execution remains unclear, but one thing is certain: Teotihuacan's rituals didn't just involve human sacrifice, they turned it into a feeding frenzy. Number 1. A mysterious Japanese mermaid mummy. At the Enjuin Temple in Japan, tucked away in a wooden box, lies one of the strangest artifacts ever found: a mummified mermaid said to date back to the 18th century. According to legend, it was caught off the coast of Kochi during the Genbun era, 1736 to 1740, and has been revered ever since, believed to hold mystical properties. But if you're picturing Ariel from The Little Mermaid, think again. This thing is pure nightmare fuel. With its humanoid face, clawed hands, and grotesque fish-like body, the so-called mermaid has baffled scientists and temple-goers alike. Was it proof of unknown sea creatures? A warning from the gods? Recent analysis, however, revealed a more human explanation. This mermaid was an elaborate hoax, crafted from a mix of fish bones, pufferfish skin, and animal hair. Likely created by skilled artisans to serve as a protective talisman, it was never meant to be a real creature. But even knowing the truth doesn't make it any less unsettling. Whether a fraud or a centuries-old symbol of belief, this eerie figure remains a fascinating relic of Japan's deep-rooted spiritual traditions. If you've enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon in the next one.